In the heart of the Sinai desert, the air was thick with tension and the silence was deafening. Moses stood alone, his heart heavy with the weight of his people's sin. Just a few days earlier, the Israelites had turned their backs on God, crafting a golden calf to worship in his stead. The act of rebellion had sparked a divine fury that threatened to consume the entire nation. As Moses pleaded for mercy, he knew that the fate of millions hung in the balance. This was not just a moment of crisis. It was a turning point that would define the future of a people and their relationship with their God. The story of the golden calf, as told in the book of Exodus, is a pivotal episode in the biblical narrative. It is a tale of faith, rebellion, and redemption. But it is also a profound exploration of the human condition. The Israelites, having been delivered from the bondage of Egypt, found themselves at a crossroads. They had witnessed the power of God in the plagues and the parting of the Red Sea. Yet they still doubted his presence and provision. In a moment of desperation, they turned to a false god, a symbol of their own making, and in doing so, they betrayed the very one who had saved them. The act of making the golden calf was not just a moment of rebellion. It was a manifestation of deeper issues within the Israelite community. The people were struggling with the uncertainty and hardships of the wilderness journey. They were facing the unknown, and the fear of the unknown often leads to a search for something familiar and comforting. In this case, the golden calf represented a return to the old ways, a way of life they thought they had left behind in Egypt. It was a way to feel in control, to have a tangible symbol of their own power and authority. Moses, in his role as mediator, had to confront the consequences of this act of rebellion. He had to stand before God and plead for mercy on behalf of a people who had turned their backs on him. The conversation between Moses and God is a powerful exchange that reveals much about the nature of God and the nature of humanity. Moses' plea, "If you would bear their offense," is a cry from the depths of a leader who is willing to sacrifice everything for his people. He even goes so far as to ask God to wipe his name from the book of life if God will not forgive the Israelites. This is a profound act of selflessness, a willingness to bear the weight of the people's sin. God's response is both merciful and just. He forgives the people, but he also makes it clear that there will be consequences for their actions. The Levites, who had shown their loyalty to God by slaying the idolaters, are chosen as a priestly caste. This act of dedication, symbolized by the phrase, "Fill your hands," is a powerful reminder that true service to God requires a complete commitment. The Levites, through their zealous actions, confirm their dedication and are rewarded with the honor of serving in the tabernacle. The episode of the golden calf also raises important questions about the nature of leadership and the responsibilities of those in positions of authority. Moses, as a leader, had to navigate the delicate balance between standing up for his people and standing up for the truth. He had to confront the sin while also advocating for forgiveness. This is a challenge that leaders face in all walks of life, whether in religious, political, or social contexts. The ability to speak truth to power while also showing compassion and understanding is a hallmark of effective leadership. The story also highlights the importance of trust and faith in the face of uncertainty. The Israelites, in their moment of doubt, turned to something they could see and touch. They sought a tangible symbol of their faith, but in doing so, they lost sight of the invisible yet ever-present God who had delivered them from slavery. This is a lesson that resonates in modern times as well. In a world where we are often tempted by quick fixes and immediate gratification, it is easy to lose sight of the deeper, more enduring truths that sustain us. The aftermath of the golden calf incident is marked by a period of reflection and repentance. The people, upon hearing God's words of judgment, mourn and remove their jewelry, a symbol of their newfound humility. This act of stripping away their ornaments is a powerful gesture of repentance, a recognition of their sin, and a commitment to change. It is a reminder that true repentance involves more than just saying sorry. It requires a change in behavior and a turning away from the things that led to the sin in the first place. Moses' role as a mediator continues as he establishes the tent of meeting outside the camp. This tent becomes a symbol of God's continued presence with his people, even in their moments of rebellion. It is a place where God and Moses can meet face to face, a place of intimate communication and divine guidance. The tent of meeting serves as a bridge between the people and God, a reminder that even in times of distance and disconnection, there is always a way back to the divine. The story of the golden calf is not just a historical account. It is a timeless lesson in the dynamics of faith, leadership, and redemption. It teaches us that even in our darkest moments, when we feel far from God, there is always a path back to Him. It reminds us that true faith is not about having all the answers, but about trusting in a God who is always present, even when we cannot see Him. It is a story of hope, a story that shows us that no matter how far we stray, there is always a way back. In the end, the story of the golden calf is a call to each of us to examine our own hearts and to ask ourselves where our true loyalties lie. It is a reminder that the path of faith is not always easy, but it is always worth it. And in the end, it is a story that points us to a God who is both just and merciful, a God who is always ready to forgive and to restore.